Hey, it's Rachel. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about Incidents Around the House by Josh Malerman, which was our August book club pick for my book club, the TBR and DNF book club, which is always linked down below in my link tree. It is over on the Fable app if you want to check it out. If you guys haven't checked out Fable, you should do so because they have a lot of really cool features on their app and I really like it over there. You should check it out, even if you're not going to join our book club. Sorry if you can hear the cars. I am filming this outside. It's super gloomy out today, but it's a little bit humid, but it's nice. So, and my son's inside watching TV, so thought I would do it outside. Anyway, today we're going to talk about incidents around the house, and I will announce September's book club pick as well. My dog is out here too, so if you hear his little pitter patter. Okay, so this is actually my second book from Josh Malerman. My first one being a book of short stories called Spin a Black Yarn, and I gave that one 2 stars. Ooh. So I did not have high hopes for this book. The thing about Spin a Black Yarn was all of the stories had like so much potential, and they all just really fell flat for me. It's not that I disliked his writing so much, but they just didn't work for me. And some of the way, like, the nicknames and things he did, I didn't like, which I'll talk about later because they showed up in this book as well. But that's kind of beside the point. Like I said, the stories had so much potential, but in the end just didn't quite work for me. Every large truck is driving by my house right now. Love that. So yeah, I was a little hesitant to read another one from him, but I like to give authors, at least a few chances before I completely write them off. And I've heard a lot of, polarizing things about this book, but a lot of good things. So many people said it was super terrifying, which I don't, when people say that, I take it with a grain of salt because I just don't find books that scary or terrifying. It's not like horror movies to me, which is why I read horror and I don't watch it because I can't really handle watching it, but reading it is just not the same. There's very few books that I can say actually terrified me or made me scared. This one definitely had a few moments that creeped me out for sure. I don't think it's a terrifying book though, but we'll get into it. Scary, yeah, it definitely had scary moments. I did hear that this is going to be turned into a film, and I heard that Jessica Chastain is playing the mother. Not other mommy, but the mother, and I could just picture her throughout the whole book. I think she would nail this role. So if that's true, I hope it is, because I think she would do fantastic in this role. So yeah, I'm going to give a brief synopsis of the book and to let you know what it's about, and then I am going to get into some spoilers. So if you don't want any spoilers, you can skedaddle, and I'll see you next time. But yeah, so incidents around the house. First of all, I low-key don't like the cover of this book. I don't think it has anything to do with the book. I don't like it. What do y'all think? I think it could have been so much better. But anyway, this is about Bella, and Bella is our main character, and the whole POV of the book is from her. So when people were telling me that this is the point of view of an 8-year-old girl, which, where are y'all getting that from? Did it say in the synopsis or in the beginning that she's 8 years old? Because I don't, if it did, that went totally over my head because I never saw that. Some people said that they thought that she read a little younger than 8, which I can see that. At times it did feel like she was a little bit younger than 8 years old, but I'm not going to knock, anything for that. I think it is what it is. But this is about Bella. She's 8 years old apparently, and the whole point of view from this book is from her perspective, and I just wasn't sure what that was gonna be like. I wasn't sure if it was gonna be really first of all, I didn't know how old she was gonna be, so was this gonna be really mommy, daddy, I I don't know what I was expecting. And I didn't know if it was going to be like, are we going to hear like adult conversations, like any point of view from other characters, or was it all going to be from her like mind and like what her interpretations of the conversation was? But you are hearing other conversations and other characters. It's just all from her perspective, if that makes sense. Which I think worked so well in this book. And so Bella, who's 8 years old, has been dealing with an entity, a ghost, I guess, in her room. And at first it was just kind of like peeking from her closet and kind of scaring Bella, just like watching her. And then it would get a little braver and come out. It would sit on her bed. It would almost at that point kind of be comforting to Bella. And the more comfortable this entity got, she would start talking to Bella, and Bella then thought of her as like a friend, and they would laugh and giggle and play together. And at first this entity would only come out at night, and then this entity wanted to be called Other Mommy. And then when we start, like when we get into the story, Other Mommy is showing up, more frequently during the day. And Bella is scared that someone else is going to see her and find out about her. She's like partly scared of her, but also partly scared that someone's gonna like take her out of her life. There's kind of this like strange dynamic there. And so when we're coming into this story, Other Mommy's getting very brave and coming out, at all sorts of times of day and getting more brave with Bella, asking her questions, getting a little more, I don't want to say mean, but yeah, not as friendly as she was. And then she starts asking Bella, can I go into your heart? I can't remember if I'm saying that right. It's like, can I go inside your heart? Will you let me in your heart? I can't remember the exact phrase. If I remember it, I'll put it on the screen. But can I go into your heart? And Bella is like, hold up, wait a minute. That doesn't sound like something I should be saying yes to. So she doesn't really answer. And Other Mommy keeps asking and gets a little more intense about it. And Bella says no eventually. And Other Mommy is not happy about the fact that Bella keeps telling her no or keeps ignoring her. And she's showing up more and more. And she's getting more intense and upset with the fact that Bella isn't liking her coming around as more, isn't answering her, isn't letting her go inside her heart. And Bella keeps talking about Other Mommy talking about being carnated. And at first when she brings it up, which is very early on in the story, she brought it up not in the right context. So I didn't understand. Now when I say it, it's like, obviously you know what it means. But when she first brought it up, I did not understand what she was talking about. And then I realized, oh my God, it's a tractor. Life in the country. And then I realized she would say carnated, and then sometimes she would say it in the text of carnations, like flowers. Like I said, she wasn't using it in the right form. And then eventually we learn that she's meaning the word reincarnation, reincarnating. Other Mommy is basically talking about being reincarnated. I guess like switching lives with Bella and being reincarnated. So that's kind of like one of the main focuses of the book, and a strong theme of the book is, but she calls it carnated, reincarnated. Yeah. So that is kind of where the book is starting, is Other Mommy being pretty forceful to Bella and asking if she can go into her heart, and Bella starting to be scared of this entity. Again, scared, but also wondering, like, I also don't want to lose this like friend in my life, this person who I've become close to. And she's scared but she's also scared that Other Mommy could hurt someone, or yeah. So there's that going on. But then there's also the whole storyline of her parents, the mother and Dado, which I said at the beginning that Josh Malloran has some little quirks in his writing. You guys, I hated Dado. Not the character of Dado, the literal word Dado. I don't know why, but that irked me so bad. And it was on it was just everywhere. Dado. Oh my God. Like, please call him anything else. It just got on my nerves. And then, same thing in his short stories. He had a fictional, I'm guessing this is a fictional place. If this is real, tell me. But a fictional place called Sam Hatton. And I don't know why, but that bothered me so bad. It was like if 8-year-old me had to come up with like a fictional place on the spot. And I was just like, Sam Hatton. Like, I don't know why. I just thought it was so stupid. And then he brought it up again in this book. He brought up Sam Hatton again. I'm so sorry if that's a real place, but I just think it sounds so stupid. I'm not going to knock any like points off of the book for that, but it did bother me. Is Sam Hatton not the stupidest thing you've ever heard? Sam Hatton, like Manhattan. Ugh, okay. If it's real, I'm going to feel really stupid and I'm going to feel really bad. But Sam Hatton, I don't know why. That just drove me nuts. But anyway, we have the mother and father, Dado. And since this is all from the perspective of Bella, we're not quite sure what the relationship of the mom and dad is. Like, she'll make a comment that like mommy got home and daddy tried to kiss her but mama moved away, or I really like when mommy makes Dado laugh. I wish they laughed more. So like kind of all these little clues like, oh, something might be strained in the marriage, something's going on in the relationship. But since it's from the perspective of the 8-year-old, you're not getting every detail. But then when they put Bella to sleep at night and she goes to bed, they just like trauma dump on her and like they're like, she's asleep, I'm gonna tell her my whole life story, and then you get all the tea. But don't do that to your kids, by the way. Kids like to pretend they're asleep. But I didn't really understand why they would do that. They're not going to be winning any Parents of the Year award. Let's just say that. They were pretty horrible parents. Like, they loved her, but also didn't have a clue what they were doing. So yeah, you're also getting that whole dynamic of the relationship of the parents, but from the perspective of the child, which was hit a little too close to home at times, but also was really heartbreaking. And, but a big part of the story itself. So yeah, it's paranormal, it's ghosts. I mean, that's the main focus of the story, but also the marriage and the parents is a huge part of the story as well. And told from the perspective of an 8-year-old is very interesting. You're still getting a lot of adult conversation and that kind of thing too, but I just think it worked so well to have Bella as the main, character here in the POV. I just thought it was really interesting and it worked really well. So that's and then it's the rest of the book is basically them trying to figure out how to deal with other mommy. And that's all. Peanut, you're joking. No, he literally rolled in poop. Like, he's full of poop, you guys. I'm not kidding. I can smell him. Oh, my Lanta. Okay, he's just gonna stay outside. We're gonna get through this video, and then I'm gonna go give him a bath. Oh my god. Okay, anyway. I don't know where I was, you guys. Oh my god. Bella. Why would you do that? Oh my god. Okay. You guys, I don't remember what I was talking about. I knew he was gone for too long. Oh my god. Okay. I don't remember where I was. So, okay, I have to go back. I don't remember what I was talking about. Okay, I think I was just saying that that's the main synopsis of the book. And I do want to get into some spoilers. So if you do not want to hear any spoilers, this is now your time to skedaddle because we are going to get into it. I'm not going to spoil the very end of the book. I don't love doing that. But I will say that I think the end is probably going to be very polarizing as well. You know what? I am never too, like, whatever about endings of books. If it's, like, tied up in a ribbon and it's complete, I love that. If it's a lot of questions unanswered, I love, like, I don't know. It doesn't really, I think for this one it worked. I'll just say that. But anyway, let's get into a little bit of spoilers. So what I think, so you've been warned, spoilers. What I loved about this, and I'm not saying that Josh Malerman is the first to do this. I'm sure it's in lots of other horror books, horror movies, blah, blah, blah. But with Other Mommy and this paranormal entity, I loved that it, one, showed up during the day. It showed up in different places other than just their house. Like, it followed them. I love that they didn't just think that Bella was crazy and just brush it off. I mean, they kind of did at first-ish, but it wasn't just like chapter after chapter of them brushing off, you know, these things and like making her go to therapy or whatever. You know what I mean? It was, they believed their child. And spoilers, you guys, you've been warned. I loved that other people saw Other Mommy. It wasn't just that Bella was the only one that could see her and no one else. And nope, people were seeing her, and it terrified people to the point where they, like, I don't know if I want to give this spoiler away, but I'm going to. If they were seeking refuge with someone else, they were kicking them out of their house and were like, you need to go. Like, what did you bring here? Like, what are you doing? What was that thing? Other Mommy is said to have, like, hair, like long black hair covering her body. Huge, like a huge entity. Her eyes are, like, sometimes where they're supposed to be, but not always. You know what she reminded me of is the cover of, like, that book, my mind is Other Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark or whatever, of that. If I put a picture up, maybe I'm remembering it wrong, but like, it just, like, that image just kind of flashed in my head. I don't know how they'll do that in a movie, but anyway, terrifying. People were absolutely terrified when they saw her. Like, she came out at parties. When, like, I just thought that was, you don't see that very often happening. It's always, like, in the dark, you're kind of seeing something, you hear something, like, crazy. Other Mommy also was able to hurt others who were not even a main focus of the story, but tied into the story very well. I won't give that spoiler either, but it really made things interesting, and you're like, oh my God, they really went there. I was not expecting it to involve the marriage as much as it did, and like, emphasize the problems in the marriage as much. You learn a lot about that woman. Like, she was not a great person. She was not a great mother. She did not do things the right way. It was hard to read at times. Not Other Mommy, I'm talking about the mother. Yeah, it was hard to read at times. She really went about things the wrong way. But I just loved how they did that. Another thing, and this is one of the parts that freaked me out, and this is a spoiler, like a specific part in the book that I'm going to spoil. So maybe fast forward like 45 seconds. I told you that when they will, like, trauma dump on their child when they think she's asleep, once they put her to bed. So the mom is talking to Bella and trauma dumping, telling her all the tea about her maybe illicit affairs that she's having. And then the mom hears her voice coming from inside her daughter's bedroom. And she's like, that's my voice, but I'm not in there. And she sees Other Mommy. So Other Mommy can mimic and be whoever she wants to be which is so terrifying. And that's when the mom sees other mommy, and ooh, it's not good. She does not handle it well. But that was such a freaky part in the book. And it's like you're expecting it, but you're not expecting it. It really freaked me out. That kind of stuff freaks me out. So and it worked really well. So I liked that other mommy was able to do that too. Super powerful paranormal entity. And the mom and dad are trying throughout the whole entire book, they are trying to figure out how to get rid of other mommy. And like, what would you do in that situation if you think that your child is being haunted? Because it's not like it's a poltergeist, I guess, but it's not a possession. It's like, do you go to a church? Do you go online and try to find like a chip coffee type of person? Like, what do you do in that situation? And they were so clueless. I do not think they went about things the right way. But again, what would you do in that situation? Like, there's not a handbook for that kind of thing. So you really see, like, as adult, like, parents, them crashing out and trying to figure out what to do, and them trying to protect their child while also going through their own issues in their life. They're just crashing out. They're also like alcoholics, and it's just not great. But again, I think all of those things made the book that much more interesting, and it just worked, especially from the perspective of the child. So I just think so many things in this book worked so well. I do think that Bella seemed a little young at times. Okay, I understand that. I also think that even though she was treated more grown up, I also think she was treated kind of like she was kind of babied as well. I feel like there was both sides. Like, I feel like, I don't know. Yeah. Just so many interesting dynamics in this whole book. The characters were so good, and they really messed up, though. They really did not go about it the right way. But then, I don't know, what do you think they should have done? Like, what do you think the answer was? I just think they were totally unprepared for any of it. But again, this ghost, this entity, whatever, was not like your usual. I don't know what your usual, you know what I mean? It followed you. It wasn't something other. They made points in the book about how it was different than others, and I can't really remember like the specifics. I read this a few weeks ago, or I finished this a few weeks ago. So, but yeah, there were reasons why they couldn't just get rid of it like a peanut. No, like he's trying to get inside, like a regular ghost. Like you would get rid of a regular ghost. So it was just that much harder. And yeah, they tried a lot of different things, and yeah, and the times when other mommy was present and in the book were very creepy. I'm not gonna say like terrifying or whatever, but I do think they were scary and worked really well. I do think other mommy was a scary character, and I really enjoyed this a lot. What did you guys think? Because this book is so polarizing. You either really liked it from the perspective of the girl, you really hated it, you think other mommy was stupid, you think it was good. I don't know. I would have loved more backstory on other mommy. Like, where'd you come from? Hello, what are you doing? I would have liked, I don't know, I think I just would have liked more about her and her story. But I liked everything else. I think everything just worked so well. And I did like his writing. I do have one of his other books. I think it's another book of short stories, though. I have to check. And then I really want to read Daphne, which I'm pretty sure is by him as well. That is definitely one that's on my list. So I will definitely be reading more from him. I think I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. I have to double check, but I think I did. I really liked this. I think it worked well. And it definitely scared me in a few spots. and I was pleasantly surprised. I've also heard polarizing things about the audiobook because it's narrated by a child, I think. So that might be interesting to listen to if you're an audiobook person. I don't know how that would work. If you have done the audiobook, let me know down below, like, is it a cast of characters? Yeah, I'm really curious about that, actually. Let me know. And if they do a movie about this, I might be able to watch it. I don't know. I'm such a scaredy cat, but it might be interesting. I would like to see how they do Other Mommy in a movie, because you would have to make her the way they described her, that he described her. Yeah, it would be really interesting. Like hair on her, long hair on her arms, and like eyes in weird spot. I don't know. It would be, and like huge, like a huge entity. So I don't know, but it would be good. So if you read the book, let me know down below what you thought of it, and let's get into next month's book club pick. Y'all, I don't know if I'm making the right choice here, but I'm gonna go with Adam Cesar's Clown in a Cornfield. This will be our second Adam Cesar book this year, because we read Influencer, right? Which I didn't love, but it was okay. I believe this is also YA. And I know this is part of a series. Is that, do you guys hate me for that? I don't know. But I also know that this can be read as a standalone. So I think people will be okay with that. I've had this since February and I want to read it. So I think we're going to do this one. It was between this or The Queen from Nick Cutter. I was saying Nick Cutter. And I think that one's going to be maybe harder for people to get. My library doesn't have it, and it's a little spendy on, like, for the ebook or paperback. So I don't know. But I do really want to read that one too. So maybe that'll be a pick a different month. But I need to read some books that I actually own and have, and I own and have this one in my hand. So I want to read this one. So I'm sorry that this is part of a series, but it can also just be a standalone. So this is what I'm going to go with for next month. So September's book club pick is Clown in a Cornfield by Adam Cesar. I know a lot of people have already read this. Obviously, there's like how many books down in this series already. I think this came out in 2020, correct? So I know there's already series. There's a movie out, but I haven't read it yet, so this will be our pick. And just an update on Harry Potter. I did finish the second book, The Chamber of Secrets. I will be doing a review on that. I'm already on book 3, The Prisoner of Azkaban. I'm probably like, I don't know, 30% through. So we are just a trucking. I'm still doing the audiobook, yes. Excuse me. So yeah, we're just trucking right along. So this will be our September book club pick. And if you read it, let me know. Did you like it? I only have heard good things about Clown in a Cornfield, so I'm excited to read it. Clive Barker blurbed it, an author who knows how to make us afraid. The kids are not all right. This is YA, I'm pretty sure, so I know it's not going to be like crazy scary, but I think it's going to be really fun and get us into spooky season. So yeah, that is all I have for you guys today. Let me know down below if you've read either one of these books. What did you think of Incidents Around the House? What did you think of Incidents Around the House? Let me know down below. Like I said, my book club was always listed down below in my link tree over on the Fable app, the TBR and DNF book club. And yeah, that's all I have for you. Subscribe if you are not subscribed already, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.